Hi everyone. Okay, today we are going to talk about servers, which we have already talked about server sentiment and what are the plugin modules that go in and what are the packages that go in, like service pack A, service pack B, service pack C, and things like that. Okay, the service sentiment is the one which was using all the service packs. Now we are going to check how it works. Okay, let's see what are the service pack. Okay, now we are going to open the thing and see what is the service pack in there. Okay, now let's see. uh, we are going to see what are the service pack in there. Okay, now there are different kinds of service packs in there. Okay, now we don't want to see all those things. Okay, uh, first thing, you select server, you select. Okay, now you open the thing. Okay, now what are the things? One was CAD server, which we have already told that it is. CAD is supposed to be computer aided design. Okay, so I don't know how design work can be done over PHP. Okay, PHP or PHP server or a HTTP server, but some of the design works can be done. Okay, next we saw the CVS server. CVS server is it's a kind of file transfer or code version control systems. Okay, it's called code version control system. What is code? Code is like whatever you write, the design work and all those things is saved there. Okay, that is why it's called code version control server. DC hub server. DC hub server, that is also a kind of server. Okay, hub is a kind of interconnect equipments. Okay, from one computer you connect to another computer, you use what is called a hub or a kind of connecting device. Okay, which comes in between two servers, that is called a DC hub server. So that itself, if it becomes a server, then it becomes a DC hub server. Okay, it's called direct connect hub server. Direct connect hub servers are like you can do a direct connect of different things. It's a kind of tunneling. Or a virtual path which is created within the server things. Okay, those are called direct hub server. Dynamic host configuration protocol. I already told you how hosts are configured within a particular server network. So you have 10 servers and 15 hosts. Hosts are endpoints which connect to that particular server. Then how you dynamically allocate IP addresses to those things, and so that they can connect to the network and then start using your server. So that is called dynamic host configuration. What is the difference between a native server and a server ordinary server? Okay, native server is usually used for local area network. That is within your network you can use what is called a native server. No, that's called a global server. And ordinary servers are things which use within your local things. Native server is something like within your local LAN you can use those kind of things. Okay. Now, if you want to connect to the external thing like big companies like Google and other things, or the public area network and other things, then you go for ordinary DHCP server. Okay. Now DHCP server listener. Okay. Servers have got also listeners. What are listeners? Listeners are things which go on host configuration and start listening what are the IP addresses out there, and then they try to capture all those addresses, and they find the location basically. Okay, server listener is a kind of location server. Okay, DLNA server, I already told, dynamic network access server, or uh, if you want to do dynamically link or digital link to local area network, and then you connect all the connect all these equipments, then it is called DLNA server. Okay, DNS, domain name service. Okay, that is called naming, giving name already. So we have this is host configuration. If you want to give names to different things, then you have DNS. Okay, native, what is the basic thing? They always come with native and ordinary server. What is the difference between native and ordinary server? Native is something like which works within your system or within your domain. That is called a native. Okay, that is called a native. And something ordinary, it's called a huge thing. Say for DNS domains. Okay, it is going to create, the DNS server will create domains for the big networks or out of your network scope. Okay, DNS native server will do all the DNS work, domain name services within your network. That is why there's a small difference between DNS server and DNS native server. Okay, DNA mask server. Mask servers are something like IP address mask, and you have your local, within your local system you have another local system. Those kind of mask servers are there. Sometimes if you go on DNS outside also, okay, outside the network also, you want to partially block some of this thing and use only those as a mask server kind of thing. Like IP version 4 was more kind of used as mask servers because they have to mask, they'll give one IP address, and then after that they want to use a set of IP address within that spectrum. That is why they give mask servers. IP version 4 is using all these mask servers. Okay, eDonkey server is a kind of FTP server, or uh, it's a kind of file service system. Okay, that is called eDonkey server. Email server we already saw. Email servers we already saw two kinds of protocols. One was POP, another one was SMTP, another one was what was something to do with web. Okay, that we have not discussed too much. Okay, that we'll do it later. That is called SST or something like that. So that was the thing. Now we saw FTP server also, file transfer. So if you want to transfer one file to another thing, then we saw FTP server, then FTP native and FTP proxy. So we know what is a proxy, and proxy is something like if you want to create a proxy server for, if you want to get an FTP, then it goes to one of the site, and from that site it goes to another site and then gets all the that is the proxy server. Proxy is usually used for things which you want to do, don't want to do directly, then you use proxy. Okay, FTPS is the server. Okay, FTP proxy server is another server. FTPS is if HTTP. Okay, so the difference between FTP and FTPS depends on whether HTTP supports HTTP or not. Okay, FTPES. Okay, this is another one. Within FTP you have extra things. Okay, extra server. Okay, extra like HTTP plus another protocol also included, then FTPES is used. Okay, Flash policy server. Flash is like like basically a file server kind of thing, so you don't have to worry about it. JIT is already, I told you, it is a kind of storing all the executables, mostly for project work and projects and other things. They use JIT server. If you want to do remote projects, okay, then they use what is called a JIT server, where file transfer is not particularly to a particular thing or to a particular service. Okay, Gopher you already know, that is a kind of search engines. Okay, we haven't done too many search engines. Gopher is the only search engine right now available, but HTTP supports those kind of things, but we don't have too many Gopher kind of search engines. The major one which is available is Gopher server. That's all. Okay, there are intelligent search engines. Those things are all not still included. Still, it is used as a HTTP Snoop server, HTTP, so Hypertext Transfer Protocol, Snoop server. That is a kind of protocol which you can use it for snooping. Snooping basically is kind of like if you want to get over one network and you go to some other network, and from there you want to snoop into a particular channel and then go and access something, then it's called a Snoop server, or it will just find out things. Okay, that kind of thing. ICAP server, it is also another kind of protocol. Okay, ICAP server is also another kind of protocol. I forgot what was that. Okay, anyway, IceCast and other things are all, these are all file kind of things, file transfer and things like that. IRC is kind of like that's what those kind of things. Okay, when you see ICAP, IRC, IceCap, these are all something to do with signaling. Okay, one of the major thing in server technology is signaling. What is signaling? Say if you go to a traffic, then you have signals within that. Okay, the red is just for controlling the traffic flow. Okay, controlling on special services, which you want to have to include in those things. So that is called IRC servers. Okay, they give you special signaling services to go over so many other things. Okay, those are called signaling. Now, if you want to talk about signaling, it is a huge area. Okay, most of your telephone systems use those kind of signaling. Okay, signaling is a kind of thing which you want a immediate service, like your voice over IP, those kind of special situations where you want to access servers not just for file but for other kind of data transfer. Usually file is the only data transfer, but a telephone, if you want to use, you cannot use a file transfer system because the file is going to take a long time to transfer from one side to another side before you can hear anything. So the video server, all these things are using what is called a tunneling protocols. For tunneling protocols, or they use what is called voice protocols. Voice protocols are like voice kind of protocols. That is signaling protocols. Signaling is a kind of things which was used much earlier than even network was developed. The first time the network development was there they used all the things. You already know what is the 7 layer of model, like physical data link, network, then transport, all those things. Okay, those are all the basic levels. Something to do with hardware, and then the next level is something to do with how you link all the hardware. What is the kind of procedures you have to follow for linking all the hardware? That is the second layer. Then you have the third one, which is called the network layer. Network layer is something like what you want to end to end, what you want to transfer, how you do a data transfer within the things. Okay, that is called network layer. Physical data link, network, and then transport. Transport is the next layer that comes in. Transport is like how you go end to end, things like that. Okay, end to end communication kind of things. So the transport layer is the one which gives you from one end to another end communication. That is one computer to another computer, things are transferred. Okay, if you transfer things from one computer to another computer, then you have transport. Okay, before that you don't have any transport. Before that you have just network, which is hardware and other things and other things. So the transport, the network links, okay, these are all up to network links. Network is kind of like how you connect. Okay, you can physically switch connections. Those things are all done in network layer. Transport layer is end-to-end server. So if you have one system to another system, once you throw a data inside that one system and it comes to the other system, then you have completed your transport system. Okay, that is called transport system. So once that level is achieved, then it is called transport. Okay, there are different kinds of transport. I told you already. You have signaling type of transport, then you have bulk data transport, and you have ordinary queuing type of data transport, then buffering type of data transport. So there are so many kinds of other kinds of things like video transport and other things. Okay, each one has got a specific protocol for how to follow those particular standards to get data from one end to another end. Okay, that is what data can be anything, whether it is signal, whether it is voice, or it is other kinds of data, or normal raw data and other things. Everything can go through that. So up to transport layer is what achievement of data from one system to another system is. Okay, below that you cannot do data transfer from one system to another system. Okay, it is all how the network is connected, how the link is connected, how data is data path is achieved. Mostly data path comes in network layer. Okay, then once you then transport, then you have application layer, then you have service layer. Service layer is kind of like service. What is the kind of service you want to do? Like you have TCP, over which you want to run some kind of service. What is the email is a kind of service, but it comes under application layer. But the kind of protocol that runs under it, like POP and other things, POP, SMTP and all those things, they come under above the transport layer and then start using those things. Okay, those are kind of like buffering mechanism, how they function. It is kind of more a kind of virtual. Okay, once you go above transport system, the network becomes virtual. Virtual is a kind of thing where things are like so from one system to another system you send data, then it becomes a kind of like virtually transporting from any system to any system. That is called transport. Once you work above transport layer, things become virtual because you don't care about what is underneath. Okay, you don't have to know anything about underneath, but most of the things are works on the upper layers. Okay, so that is why it's called. So I talked about signaling. Signaling, there are so many other kinds of signaling, like telephone SEO signaling, telephone signaling, and SMB. SMB is the kind of server which does all the signalings. Okay, SMB is SOCKS. SOCKS is another kind of server. This is called secure socket. Secure socket is for mostly for encryption. Like if you want to do encryption, so you want to protect a particular line or something like that, then this SSH is used. They are called for security reasons. Okay, Storm server, then Stick server, then syslog. The syslog server is mostly used for logging all where things went where and how it went. Telnet is a kind of thing, telephone network server. Okay, it does actually telephone network, okay, but Telnet is a kind of it's a kind of end-to-end transport kind of. It just directly works over transport system where you can send characters or you can type in something on the computer and the typed thing goes to the other side and it displays there, and then you type from the other side, then it comes and displays here. It is a kind of direct from one end to another thing, typing. Okay, teletyping. It's called teletyping kind of network. Okay, teletyping server. So this is called teletyping. So when you have data which is not video or something like that, those kind of things are not done over Telnet, but mostly Telnet is for character transfer and immediate response transfer and messaging service. Those things are all done by Telnet servers. Okay, test servers are like if you want to run test how this thing is over, how much of problem you have in the network, those kind of things are done by test servers. Okay, these capture all the things wherever it goes and then it gives you a report on all that. TFTP is a trivial file transfer protocol. Trivial file transfer means if you don't want to do a huge transfer, small files you want to transfer, then you put the whole thing in a one single block and send it bulk. Okay, this is called trivial file transfer. And if it is successful, it will allow. If it is not, some of the files may not be transferred. So trivial file transfer is not end-to-end guarantee, but just see whether it goes to the other side, and then some of the FTP can run over trivial file transfer because some of them can give end-to-end reliability just using signaling and then saying that okay, I transferred the file and things like that. You can try transfer file through TFTP also. Okay. Time server, I already told you, it just keeps track of all the times. Okay, a server has for Eastern Coastal Time, Western Coastal Time, then you have Indian time, then UTC. Those kind of things are all done by time servers because they synchronize end-to-end communication. Most of the synchronization work for your file systems and other things are done by this time server. Without synchronizing, files get old. Okay, so you transfer a file from one system to another system, and somebody is updating that system, and without timestamp and other things, that file seems to be old or depends on the time server. So you have to have this time server to do the synchronization and other things. Okay, torrent download. Torrent is a kind of thing. Okay, you want to do a huge download and things like that. People want to transfer 500 files, 1000 files, 10,000 files and other things. So they usually use torrent downloaders client, okay, where they do bulk services. Okay, this is the downloader client where it is a client, and here it is a kind of tracker server. Tracker server, torrent tracker is like which side you can have all the tracking systems and things like that. Okay, so it just where it goes, where the tracker, how it is displayed, and how you find a path for that. So first you have to track to a particular destination, then it finds out where all the torrent is there. Those kind of things is done by tracker server, and downloader is the actual thing where the database is, or the huge file system is, and clients can just loop it and then get it from the torrent download client. When you have a torrent downloader client, you are supposed to have huge data path, like high speed networks and other things is needed because you are transferring a huge bulk data from one side to another side. Unison, USB, IP server. USB IP server is just if you want to connect a synchronous bus type of architecture. Networks are usually of different types, okay? USB and other things are all running. So it's a special server for specific things, okay? If you just want to directly boot, some mostly for booting a system and booting a system from a server, this is a special type of thing which is used, and that is why it is called USB IP server. Okay, this is just, it will just, one system will have one IP address, and it will go search for the server will start, and it will boot whatever the system is with the USB IP server, because primitively doesn't have anything. Most of the, some of the systems don't have anything, and if you want to remote boot, then you use USB IP server. VNC, you know, already it's a virtual private network. Wow, now we will come into what is called virtual. Okay, what is this virtual systems? Virtual systems, if you run a server, then you want to create a virtual network, or you want to create virtual systems. Okay, so you have a virtual disk. Those kinds are done by that VMC server. Okay, all virtual things. What is virtual? Say you have 10 computers, okay, and you connected all the 10 computers or the 10 servers. Now you want to create a new kind of server with all the connected things as a virtual, one single server, okay, one single server. Or you take the 10 server which are physically connected, and you make 3 different departmental zone virtually connected, okay. So you want to create 3 departments. If you have 3 departments, then 10 servers are there which can work randomly, but over that you have the virtual network. Okay, so that is called virtual network services. So those things are done by that protocol, VNC and VPN. Mostly VPN, VCN is used for people where they want to do remote kind of services without the actual servers and other things, network equipment, staying in one place. All you have to do is take a 2 or 3 client somewhere, and then you connect to the VNC server, and you have the complete thing for you, the disk access, everything for you. So virtually you are working somewhere, and you can just get all this. The web server, already I told you, the HTTP server. So ordinary web like get, set and other things will all run. WebDAV is a file transfer server. Okay, WebSocket is, they just have it's a kind of different kind of thing. It's a kind of a transport which works on secure socket layering. So SSL, security and other things work on web server. X1 series is like X is like terminals. Okay, X terminals are special terminals where you can send graphics, mostly for video transfer and other things, like your telephone which is playing a YouTube channel and other things. They come under X11 series and XMPP server. Okay, they have a telephone mostly for direct remote video, audio, video, everything coming in. Then you use X. Okay, X is mostly for those kind of things. A remote terminal kind of service which has both audio, video and other things displayed on the screen. It is kind of like a TV screen. Okay, so the TV things and other things, streaming and other things. These are all streamers. X11 and XMPP, they are all streamers. So those kind of services are done by these things. Okay. Now we saw most of the servers right here. How do they work, and what are the different kinds of uses of those things? So now for that we'll go back and find out some other things which you can use it. Okay. Now you have a rough idea of how servers work and how we are going to access the server. One of the, I already said, a virtual thing. So here he has given application like VPN servers for OpenVPN. So this is a kind of server. It's called a virtual private network. So if you want to connect to a virtual network which is somewhere, so say you have your physical things like in United States, and you want to connect to something from here to United States, then you just land up in a virtual server. You connect from your system, you go into a place where it's called the virtual servers are available. You connect into that, and then you have connectivity to a virtual set of networks. Okay, it's virtual things, so they are much faster. So you don't have Mostly virtual things are used for speeding up the things because some of the servers are idle and some of the servers they are much powerful. So you just connect to some of the things and then you can use them properly. That is why they are called virtual private network. Okay, virtual private usually used by for tunneling. Okay, from one end you want to create a tunnel to another network, then VPN is used. Okay, these are called virtual private network or virtual public network or something like that. Okay, proxy server we already saw. Lead servers was Minecraft. Lead is a kind of server for Minecraft. Minecraft is a kind of games. Okay, they are touch games, the roller games, the driving, car driving games. Those kind of things work on this what is called the lead servers. Okay, game servers are also a kind of same thing. Game servers for Minecraft again for those kind of the virtual driving systems, virtual car driving, virtual bike driving, helicopter riding, those kind of things, all for game kind of things. Those kind of things. Lead is the same kind of thing, but it was for applications also, including teaching other things. You can use those lead servers. Okay, servers for Minecraft. Minecraft is kind of games and other things. Okay. Okay, MCPE hosting the Minecraft. It's something the same thing. Okay, my MCPE. What is so special about a MCPE is like mostly for virtual hologramming and all those things can be done MCPE. Okay, all the controls for those things are available if you start MCPE web server. Okay, MCPE service. If you have MCP servers, then you can do all your, like simulation, emulation, those kind of things you can do by MCP hosting. Those kind of things are the things which are available in that. Okay. So now we don't have still many of the other applications like digital library, video library, audio library, all those things they'll come later. Okay, right now we are using all video servers and relay servers. Relay is something like servers which you want to use and broadcast. Those kind of things are all relay servers. So you can use that. DLNA is a server which does for file transfer, okay, or dynamic link. It gives a digital link, okay, or data link for some kind of a remote broadcasting. So DLNA is for remote broadcasting and other things. Okay, MC LAN proxy. Okay, proxy LAN. If you have a local area network and you want to do a proxy and other things, then you can. MC LAN for proxy. Okay, UPnP is called plug-in player services. Okay, now what happens is you have modules and you want to plug a particular module, software module to a remote device and then use it. So that is called UPnP. They have a set of plug-in modules, and these plug-in modules, the server has all the plug-in modules. And UPnP, once you start UPnP server, there are so many things you can do. Okay, you can just directly transfer some of the plug-in modules to some device which you want to use. Those kind of things you can just plug in and play. So that is called plug in and play kind of servers. Those kind of servers are unless you know something, you cannot use UPnP. Okay, it is very difficult because you have to know completely how it works and then use it. Okay, Windows Server you also already Microsoft admin. Okay, mostly for Microsoft administration and other things you can use Win Server. So once you have Win Server, it just emulates a complete Windows for you, so you don't have to worry. Okay, so you will be using just like a Windows, Microsoft Windows, and WebDAV is a kind of file transfer. Or Droid board is another kind of thing. So which is mostly for like WebDAV server only, but file transfer extra things are available. So these are all applications. These servers are all specific servers. Okay, Droid board is a specific kind of server which does file transfer. WebDAV is also using for disk and other things. Okay, these are all special servers for those things. So TCP server is just works over only for 2CP, and you can write applications over any kind of TCP. So once you start the TCP server, then you can write any application and then plug it into the TCP server and use whatever you want. It will just run only TCP, so you don't have to worry about anything else. So that is why it is called TCP server. Okay, USA VPN. So these are also if you want to connect to USA systems, then you can use USA VPN. That's all for now. So you know what is servers, what is signaling, how signaling protocols differ from ordinary protocols like TCP/IP, data kind of protocols and signaling protocols. Why we use signaling protocols for specifically for voice and other things. Use signaling protocols. Those kind of servers are available in Pack A, Pack B, Pack C. These pack ultimate packs have each one of those special kind of services. I told you some pack might have signaling kind of things, some pack might have TCP kind of protocol, UDP kind of protocol, and some pack might service. Those are all services. Okay, when you say servers ultimate with pack means it's a kind of service. Okay, pack is whether it is a protocol or anything, it's a kind of service that is. Okay, when you start a server is just running the things. Okay, it does a special kind of services. Like if you take TCP, it is a service. Actually, it is a service, but end to end service is not there. You can call it as a kind of network kind of thing, but most of the things, whatever protocols you develop, it is a kind of service at a different level. Okay, service at a different level, lower level, higher level, over the hardware, whatever kind of protocols you develop, it is all service. So physical data link, network, transport, service, session. Session is like end to end. Okay, end to end session. Session is mostly for people who are using all that. Then you have application. Okay, those kind of things. Application, the final thing, which says end-to-end communication, and then you have a graphics on one end, a graphics terminal on one end. Same graphics terminal appears on the other end. Then you have, if you communicate, you do a file transfer from one end to the system to the other end of the system. Then that is called an application. Okay, one file is transferred completely to the other side. That is called an application. Okay, that comes. So you have 7-layer modeling, and you have some layers within the 7 layers about so many other kind of layering. Future we'll have AI layering, then you have business layering and other things. Okay, business layering that is what we saw. Okay, what was the business layering? These are the things which support for business layering. Okay, one was that where is that business things? Okay, BNC or BBN or those kind of things, they all do for business, specifically servers which are tuned for business. Okay, if you do KS Web, this might be a business server. This may be a business server, but we don't know whether it is a web server, but it might be a business server specifically for transactions like you do the forex or you do teletype or you do share market, all those things like KS Web, those kind of KS Web. This is a special kind of server which does all the business type of things. So they are specifically tuned for business. That is why it is called KS Labs and other things. Okay, now we saw most of the servers. We saw how the telephony works. We saw how the multimedia works. We saw how the direct transport of voice, data and other things work. How we create a virtual network. How we create a virtual servers. How we create data grouping. How do you classify? What are different layers of network, physical data, the 7 layers of network, physical data link, network, transport application and things like that. Okay, so there is about 7 layers. So you have to know about all the 7 layers, how it works, and within the 7 layers, how the sub layers work. Those kind of things are there. So now the client server is a kind of model which uses these 7 layers, and then do all the transport work, all the end-to-end communication and other things. Communication is one of the things. Then you have robo servers, which you have other things. This is for just servers is supposed to have everything, including robo, network, telephony, everything. Servers are not just for like only for telephones. Servers are not just for only TCP/IP protocol. Servers are not just for network protocols. No, servers have everything. Just like a system has everything, like the servers, you can plug in whatever want, and you can use like an FTP or anything like these applications. Like say when you see the Google and touch something, then say this serve. serve Android data. These applications are going to side over. Okay. Now for that today it is over. We'll have the lecture sometime later. I think this might be the final thing which you can use it, and then you can get whatever you want in the future as a kind of services and other things to understand some of this. Next part we will see this. We will see artificial intelligence. What are the different kinds of uh, the programming and other things that are being used. Okay. Now servers, for every server you have to use a special kind of programming. So you have to know that thing. Okay. When you use a PHP server, you have to know the complete programming for that particular server. Then only you can access. Okay. The client gives a set of standards, the server gives a system to how to access. So once you know that programming kind of thing, then only you can access. It is not programming, it is kind of like command language. Okay, most are kind of user command language. So PSP are all interpreted. Okay, they are just real time kind of things. So don't think that they will be written in C code. C code might be there, but you mostly have to be working totally in the upper layer. Okay, like intelligence level decryption, robots, storage, and things like that. So for now, it's okay. I think for now, we'll finish off the lecture. Thank you.